Talking about the best 55 players in the country, Lorch is not there. Nah, man.
Coach Cardozo doesn't want to hear anything about Coach Rulani. And I can tell you now, he will do anything to beat Rulani.
You know, anywhere you go to, there's always a reference of someone that left there that did very well.
As we move to the CAF Inter-Club competitions, now just quickly looking back and also looking forward for Sundowns in the Champions League. So you're at Loftus Stadium, Sundowns takes an early lead and they get a scare on the stroke of half time, but they come back and clinch the game in the second half. Just briefly, what did you make of that opening group stages performance?
I didn't think Sundowns were at their best, especially in the first half. You know, this Limpopo side is a useful team. It's not like the best of the best teams.
Yeah.
It's a team that you can dominate. I mean, if you take an early lead like that, you should put them.
Should be scoring more.
So,
Yeah.
I think they should have scored a lot of goals. But as coaches will always say, the positive thing is that they're creating chances.
Yeah.
They create a lot of chances, and
Especially looking at how tricky that group is.
the trick is very group. The group is very tricky. You have to do the business at home.
At home,
It
yeah.
would have been a very, very big disappointment if they had dropped 2 points at home.
Yeah.
They came back in the second half and they really turned it up a little bit. It was much better performance in the second half. This Nunes guy is Nuno Santos.
Is the real deal, eh?
Yeah, he's something. He's something. I want to see him there. I want to see him in DRC. I want to see him in Nigeria. I want to see him there in Egypt there.
Yeah.
Where he's a little bit more tougher.
Yeah.
If he can constantly play there, then Sundowns will have something in the hands. He's quite a useful player. I think as time goes on, he may make Sundowns fans to quickly forget about Ribeiro. But they just need to click a little bit. I know some people are saying it doesn't matter how you win matches at this level, which is true. You rather win matches, not playing this tiki-taka stuff.
Yeah.
They did the business, which is the most important thing. But they were not at their best. This weekend they're up against Rulani.
And I want you coach to come in there. A very interesting game that they are going to in Algiers on Friday. I mean, the players, we know how close most players in that Sundowns team are to Coach Rulani. Some of them, even when you interview them today, they're like, I don't want to mention this because it will be interpreted. What goes through a player's mind when he is coming up against a coach who's worked so hard in transforming him?
Firstly, you have to perform so that the coach will still believe in you and still knows that what he has left is still working. Because I mean, if you're talking about Sundowns now, I think Rulani really basically when he was a Sundowns coach, the football that Sundowns was playing, I mean, even though you're not a fan of Sundowns, you always want to watch them every time Sundowns play. And he took that down to Algiers there now. They lost the first game, if I'm not mistaken, and then they pointed home. So against Sundowns will just be the first team that are coming to them to play, the first game at home. I think Rulani will, definitely you can see Rulani will try to pull the points. And if you see what Rulani have done with Algiers now, the way they play now, they keep the ball more. They are very quick to press. So it's not the team that sometimes we go and they will feel like, no, the team will sit back. No, it's going to be toe-to-toe. This where the coaches comes in and this where the players comes in. And former players that, Orlando have put against the Sundowns side, they will try to show, quality so that, because they're looking forward to work with him again, So basically, it's going to be one of the best games of the weekend. And the other thing again about Sundowns, winning the first game at home, I mean, they equal the record now with Alali, if I'm not mistaken, with 11 wins in terms of the first games in the group stage. Sundowns, they haven't lost in terms of 11 games now in the group stage. So they win that. They took early lead and, they concede at the end of the first half, but, the quality is too much.
Yeah.
There's also going to be a battle within a battle in this match because we asked the coach about Rulani. And you can sense that when you mention Rulani,
and he's never wanted to answer a
Rulani
Rulani-related question.
But he has to understand. He has to understand where he's coaching now.
Rulani paved, if not Piso,
Yeah.
to Rulani football. I think, you know, anywhere you go to, there's always a reference of someone that left there that did very well. If Rulani didn't do well at Sundowns, no one will speak about
Is
it.
it a case of maybe he knows how the dressing room feels about Rulani?
I think that's the reason why. That's the reason why he knows how the dressing room feels about him. He knows that quite a significant chunk of those players that are there, the senior players, had this personal, strong relationship with Rulani. Obviously, you know, they will have to be professional. They'll have to go out there and do the job and try and win that match and beat their former coach. But Coach Cardozo doesn't want to hear anything about Coach Rulani. And I can tell you now, he will do anything to beat Rulani.
Yeah.
Because then maybe it will quieten people a little bit.
And our friend at Africa FIFA Side podcast, Maher
that's right,
Mazahi,
to Rulani.
spoke to Rulani,
Yeah.
and we'll definitely hear from that interview in terms of what Rulani had to say.
This difference between dream and obsession.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate the two? Why did you make this quote here?
Because like I say, my perspective on life in general is positive. I look at things when many people view things from for an example, many coaches look at football from the defensive organization. My start of football is the foot has to be on the ball. So it's being in possession of the ball. That's where I start. And what feelings do you associate with obsession? Toxicity, negativity, where you can stop at absolutely everything. You can do anything to achieve this thing that you are obsessed by. But me, I dream. I dream not only in my sleep. I dream in my day-to-day, how I carry myself, the visions I have for what I want to achieve, to win Champions League. For me, that's a dream, because that means that even if I fail, I give it my all. But even if I fail, I find enough motivation to go again. But an obsession is different in the sense that you are so obsessed with achieving this thing that you're prepared to do whatever it takes to achieve this thing. And if you fail,
Implodes.
Yeah.
I think we are really looking forward to this one.
No, we're supposed to put some fires there. No, you must
Also,
understand.
we've listened to both what Rulani has to say and also the players, because you can also hear the players. And
Yeah.
for me, it's going to be a very interesting game. because-
Opri Budiba was good. I mean, he said, well, I mean, we know the coach. He was here, and we had a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
But we've got to do the job.
Yeah.
That's what they have to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, he didn't try to do this thing of trying to be diplomatic
No,
and all the stuff. And I mean, he did say, you know, I mean,
And I think Mkulisa is getting game time now.
He-
8 minutes there.
and you know the thing with Mkulisa is an emotional thing, because he's a guy who grew up in the club, and he comes on Saturday and sometimes become a completely different team. They start knocking the ball around, they start sharing it. They are not rushing, they're easy, and the fans are shouting there for him. But I can tell you, the next match is not going to start. The next match is probably going to be eating ice there in the top, you know, which is the most frustrating thing about this coach.
Yeah.
But these guys will be there. Santos, definitely. Yes,
But with
Santos is
Santos,
good.
with Santos,
Resino also can see the passes are coming
The pass,
in.
Yeah.
yes,
Hey,
yes.
hey,
Yeah.
The confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see, this is what you're supposed to be saying. That's what they did last season with Arthur Sales. They played it into form.
Yeah.
Now they are playing Resino into form.
Yeah, but I think for me, when I look at the Champions League, because we have come out of the Champions League, you can see Sundowns scored 3 goals. You look at RS Berkane against Power Dynamos, 3-0 win. Rivers got 3 against the Pyramids.
Nigerian football is.
Al Ali
It's
beating
mad.
Al Ali beating Joseph Zimbabwe 4-1 as well.
Yeah.
You can clearly see
Yeah.
which are the big guns,
Yeah.
and also the gap
No.
between these teams.
You know, I mean, the group stages, you know, we play at home, you play away. As far as you're a big team, you need to, you know, stamp your authority. So all these other teams are trying to do that now because, yeah, there comes to the stage now that you just need a point for you to go to the knockout stage. So you have to do the business as early as possible, win your home games, get something away or win away, you know. So, but we see. But Sundowns, definitely Sundowns is a top team. So we expect them home or away they need to put a big fight. But the only part now, because they are playing against their former coach, which, I mean, he knew everything about the team. Yeah. So it's going to be a very big one.
And the other interesting thing about Sundowns is that the Sundowns fans just respond to the Champions League.
Yeah.
You should have seen that crowd. It was not a full house, but it was pretty much 70% full. If they play against a local team, you don't normally see that type of crowd. They love Champions League.
Correct.
They respond to it, and I think that's the level where Pirates and Chiefs needs to get to, where the fans will get to appreciate the Champions League, because this is the big stuff.
And I think that's what is important for Chiefs in Polokwane this weekend. I think it's an ideal place also because they have not tasted. I remember SuperSport Limited used to play some of their matches. I remember them playing Al Ali there. The Mokol Goals were playing there. A young Ronwen Williams was playing there. But I want to come to Stellies. In as much as it was a tricky game for them, but grinding that result, because we spoke about this, that to them, playing in Polokwane, it will also be like their away
game.
But it was important for them to finally get that win, and Cupido got the win for them.
No, it was very important. I mean, they haven't been doing very well in the league, but yeah, the Confederations Cup, I mean, they got the 3 points, got the job done, which is very important. 3 points in the bag, move to the next one to see how it goes. But I just feel like,
In the 90th minute.
Yeah, 90th minute. What a pass from Kiba there. So I just feel like, Champions League, how you win, it doesn't matter. Just get that 3 points. Go out from the group stage so you can get you can fill the knockout stage. They have tested it before, and I think they want to do that again. So yeah, it's a good win for them.
Can we just transfer this into the league? Because they're going through a rough patch.
Yes, and they've got that game against
Obit, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to that point, their next game also becomes very important. Because they're going to Tanzania and they are playing against a coach who's used to South African football, Miguel Gamondi at Singida, and he's also coaching the national team there as well. And also they didn't start well.
Yeah, but I guess in situations like this, where it's difficult to travel to these countries, you draw from the experience of last season. They were there last season. Most of the players that are there were there. So it's just they have got the reference point now.
Yeah.
They've been there, they've done it. It's a tricky one, as you say, against the coach who knows South African football and those types of things. But away, as we always say, don't be too excited when you go away.
Yes.
Manage, and if you get a draw, it's good. Come back home, you win the home matches, then you're good. Chiefs were messed it up a little bit there. They should have at least gotten something out of that.
Exactly.
With Steve Barker, have tested, going out of the group stage, went far in the tournament, Confederations Cup, but he will try to do it again. The league is very important for them to stay in the league, to get points. But I feel like, going to Tanzania, they have played one of the biggest teams there, which is Simba, and now they are going to play against Gumende. I mean, he knows what he expects from them.
This is also Sia Dramovic's group.
So as early as possible, you get your points in the bag, is better for you because it's a tough group.
Very interesting. And I want to come to this Chiefs game, Coach, because you look at the goals Chiefs conceded, and I feel that these are elementary mistakes. And from a goalkeeping point of view, until that time, he's been making good saves. But also, one comes from a school of thought that the ball was going out, or it was not really a dangerous ball because the defensive line is covered. As
a goalkeeper, I always say, this way, your starting point is very important. So, when it was a long ball over the defense, over the defender, the striker push, and the defender couldn't touch him again because he already knew that the player's in the box. So, and the ball is going. Yeah, Peterson, rush of blood. You feel like you're going to get there before the striker because you are using your hand. But sometimes when you stay on your feet, you can actually do the job because, as you say earlier on, it's going away from the goal. So your starting point is important and your body shape is important. So if he stay on his feet, he puts his feet in terms of the V sign to block the ball. Probably the striker will hit the ball in his body, you understand? But he thought that, okay, because he's using his hand and maybe it was one step ahead of the striker, he wants to use his hand. And you know, in Champions League, there's a lot of things, and they are playing at home. You know, when he saw the hands coming as a striker, you have to be clever. I think he was a little bit clever there, and Peterson didn't get to the ball. That's why he resolved to a penalty. But at the same time, he tried to to make the save. But I mean, yeah, you know, just unfortunately, the ball went in. But for me, I just think his starting point was too deep. He could have been a little bit,
Correct.
2-step or 3-step from his line, so that he can anticipate and try to block, or stay on his feet to block the ball on his chest.
Inacio Miguel.
Yeah, it's disappointing, man, from a
Because that's a routine clearance.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know what loss of. I mean, what taking the out.
We're talking about the bounce. I don't know.
The bounce or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's a gift.
Yes.
And also these things are mental, having worked so hard to be where they were at that time, to end up with the result that they had. It's very, very disappointing.
Especially after coming back with that equalizer, that is 83rd minute.
Yeah.
You keep things steady there, you grind, anything was possible there. And because also I mean, in the CAF Inter-Club competitions, especially against South African teams, set plays, deal properly with set plays. The second ball, because this was the second ball.
The second ball was a problem. I just think, he took his eyes off the ball. That's the only thing I can see in terms of that scenario. For him to miss the whole full ball, there's something, we can't really explain. But I just feel like, lack of concentration, the time at that moment, everyone trying to defend just to get rid of the ball so that they can, push up. But, it's something that, you really don't expect, going away is difficult for you to have a point in your hand. You already have that point. Thinking about, let me keep this point and go home and get my 3 points, I have 4 points. But now losing that game now, put them on the back foot again. They have to win their home game. And they're playing one of the biggest teams in the African continent. So
I watched Zamalek against Zesco. I feel that Zamalek is beatable. But to beat Zamalek so I think the squad selection part, and I listened to the coach talking about inexperience in his squad. But I was also thinking, but you've got enough experience. Players who've played semi-finals, quarter-finals of CAF Champions League. You look at Munyane there, you see, and some of these players, boy like Nobo, he played 42 matches this season. They were in the Champions League. So I feel like in terms of the making of the squad, leading to this game against Zamalek is very important for Chiefs.
This is a must win. If they don't win here, it's going to be very difficult to get out of the game. So a lot of things need to go right. As you say, we start with the coaches, preparation, team selection. I watched a bit of that match also. I agree that the Zamalek can be beaten, but if you go with players that are largely untested at this level, the name Zamalek can really mess around with you a little bit. So maybe go with experience and find ways how you balance the side. Go with experience. They do have players with experience who have been in high stakes matches on the continent. It really is not an excuse.
Because I was listening, building up to the game, I was listening to Mabuwe and he talked about the details, the small details. And I look in the midfield, how Chiefs were playing sideways, going backwards, and I was like, hey, they are not adapting to what is required at this level.
Especially away from home.
Exactly. So you need to have the right players there in the midfield, in particular. In fact, almost in every position.
Every position is going to be very important because now they need 3 points for them to stay alive.
Ighodaro is there, but there's no good service. Going to Ighodaro.
True. You need to use your wing play, which is very important. Penetrating passes, proper passes in terms of defending properly. Because with the Zamalek team,
pace.
Pace too, yeah,
Yes,
is very important.
pace.
You know, you have you have a lot of pacey players at Chiefs. You know,
Yes.
I mean, as you say, the mode of the team is going to be very important against Zamalek. And for me, again, the one important thing again is the height in terms of set piece.
Yes.
Is going to be
Yes.
very
Aerial
important.
strength.
Because now Zamalek definitely they're gonna analyze that game they played Chiefs play, and they will come with
Well,
their
this is
own.
what this coach said.
Yeah.
This coach said they analyzed Chiefs' weaknesses and they stuck to them, and he says that's how they scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you punish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know Zamalek with set piece is, I mean, something that they live with. You know, something
Yeah.
is like it's their DNA. Something they live with that. Set a throw-in for Zamalek. You know, Zamalek Zamalek. The throw-in is like a corner kick for them in terms of getting a goal. A corner kick more dangerous. A free kick, so you cannot make any half fouls around the box. Because I mean, the Egyptian team or the Northern team, they strive with that those situations.
That's why sometimes they've always at Nascimento, they've always at Mvala, they've always at Grant.
Yeah.
The tall boys at the back.
In the back, yeah.
Because most of the times, in the quarterfinals, semi-final, you are always going to come across somehow against the North African teams.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
Yeah. On that note, as we finish in the CAF Inter-Club competitions, so another Wydad game, another Lorch assist.
Lorch is cooking something there in Morocco. Ugo Bruce, but anyway,
No, we're just talking about Lorch.
Yeah.
We're just acknowledging Lorch.
No, but I mean,
And he's going to Tanzania this week. We're waiting for another Lorch moment.
Yeah. I mean, for me, he has done very well. Right from the club World Cup.
Correct.
He has done very well. He was one of the best players that's playing that tournament, coming to the league now and playing with among the best players there, setting the league alight. I mean, for me, I just feel, if not taking him to the AFCON, going back to that, not taking to at least put his name in that 55. You're talking about the best 55 players in the country. Lorch is not there. Nah, man. I don't know.
Maybe he'll go to the World Cup, who knows? Because if he continues at this rate,
Yeah.
it's going to become very, very difficult
To ignore
to
him.
justify
Yeah.
not having immunity.
Yeah, sure.
If it means we'll have to shake up the team dynamics a little bit. If it means when he comes back, meetings must be held, introduction to team culture must be done, and those types of things, then you have to do it, because you can't. When you go to an AFCON or to a World Cup, you need your best players available. You can't have one of your best
And
players.
the other, for me, I always say the World Cup is far. The reference is going to be the AFCON.
Yes.
So what happened in the AFCON? We actually shake everything up. You have to win the AFCON, or you get somewhere close to Nigeria.
You don't have to win the AFCON.
No, you're winning the AFCON.
You were in the final the last time.
I mean, now we have to take one step further. So one step further, probably is the winning the AFCON. Maybe we meet you. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it's gonna be a talk.
I was just looking at the road to the final.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's very interesting. It's very interesting, and I think it's for teams that want to go further.
Yeah.
Win your group.
Yeah.
Win your group. Even though I've seen previously, in the AFCON in the second round, you can be beaten by a team that is what?
Yeah, that's
one of the
second
third-
team,
But,
one of the best
teams.
finishers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
But
true.
I want us to move to this. I'm not sure how much of this you looked at it. So, the FIFA and Saudi partnership in terms of the infrastructure. You can see how important are these Arab countries to the presidency of Gianni Infantino in terms of helping him to drive his agenda globally. But now, the partnership between FIFA and Saudi is also more of helping the countries that are struggling with their stadia. And we know that problem, the biggest problem is here in Africa.
Yeah.
I was asking myself, I don't know what they want, because they've got the World Cup loans. So what more do they want?
No. Maybe it's still part of.
Yeah.
They were just given
Yeah.
the 2034 World Cup.
Yeah.
Now it's payback time now.
Yeah.
And also remember the FIFA elections around the corner.
Yeah.
And where are the votes?
Yeah.
The dialogue of the continent. Yeah, so it may be political play, but as we always say, the money must come. We want all the money, and when the money arrives,
Yeah.
it must go to where it's supposed to go.
Sure.
Because we don't want to see a situation where the FA president is driving a new Mercedes-Benz. After they put them on.
Yeah.
And then the country is playing next door. Build the stadiums.
Yes. In fact,
Those countries which have got existing stadiums, refurbish those things.
Yes.
Make sure that the national team plays in the country.
Yes.
We need infrastructure.
Pay the money direct to the constructors.
Or maybe pay the money direct to the supplier.
Yes.
So that this man who is leading there, he must drive a Toyota Corolla. This man must not go and buy Mercedes-Benz. He must still. So it's very important. The CAF president has been saying that one thing that keeps me up at night is this issue of infrastructure on the continent.
Yes, and
also,
I know that he doesn't like this thing of countries not playing
at home.
Yes.
It's a big problem.
And
also,
he was here.
He was just
it's
here
a
now.
pity.
It's pity you couldn't
Did you guys turn the cameras when they were here? You didn't turn the cameras. My friend.
you know.
Chineke.
So, the CAF president, Dr. Patrick Mzansi, said it clearly. That the one thing that keeps him at night is the fact that countries are not playing at home. There's no infrastructure, there's no stadia, and those types of things. And it's very important that we really get it right.
Yes.
And I think maybe at some stage, CAF needs to get tough and say we give everyone 2 years.
Yes.
After 2 years, if you don't have a stadium,
True.
You're not in the qualifier.
Yeah, true.
then
Or you
they'll
want the
move.
fiction.
Yeah, they'll move this.
Yes, they will move. They will
We
definitely
really-
move.
we really need
Because
to
the
make
money
sure.
is there.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Money is
I'm waiting to see how this partnership
Works.
is going to work because
The money must come.
Yes.
It must go to the right hands.
Yeah.
exactly.
There's women's football also.
Yeah.
I mean, in Nigeria, a big country like Nigeria can't just have one stadium.
Can you imagine?
Only Uyo.
And the Oyo is not giving us something that
No,
we need now.
man.
So we have to change.
No. You know this thing. This thing is serious. If you look at the countries that are bidding or that are intending to bid for between 2029 and 2035 AFCONs.
Yeah.
Most of them have got one stadium. One stadium.
Where are they going to get money to
Maybe
build all these things?
two of those countries have got two stadiums. And I'm like, no.
How's it possible, you know?
You know
How is it possible?
Yeah.
And then they
true.
want to bid.
Look at
Yes.
East Africa.
Yeah.
They've invested in stadiums.
Yeah.
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 They've invested in
True.
stadiums.
Yeah.
Yes. On our way out, coach, we always talk about the importance of coaches equipping themselves.
Yeah.
And I was at the game of Zambia and Namibia. I mentioned this previously.
Yeah.
And you can see that CAF now, even at the AFCONs,
They're clamping down.
Yeah, they're clamping down. The Zambian women's
Get your license, man. You must show your license.
she was watching,
Coach, you are good, yeah?
No, I'm
Professional team?
No, I'm good, man.
she was watching from the stands.
Yeah.
You know? And now I see Coach Helman Mkelele, he started
Lesotho.
the A license this week, which is something good.
Very important. I mean, I'm so happy for him. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
he can put his hand up now. I mean, he's one of the candidates. If the case, if he goes leave, he can. You know, he has everything complete. You know, I mean, it's important. It's important. You know, he's a good student of the game. You know, he has paid his dues, and I think it's right time for him to get it and just, you know, to relax. Going to the AFCON, you know that no, when you go stand up or you sit down, you can still stand up. You know, you understand. So I mean, he can contribute. I mean, this is a good thing. That's why, you know, we always praise CAF, you know, for equipping our coaches.
I have aspiration to be a head coach one day, but the challenge is FIFA, CAF have made statements or put a rule saying that you can't lead a team if you do not have basically CAF A license qualification or diploma. So for me to be able to fulfill my dream of leading a team one day, so it is important to acquire this license, even though the most important thing is acquiring the necessary knowledge and skill to be able to have a positive, efficient contribution in the development of football. For me, as a coach, I've also been working at a national team at a senior level. So it is important that I have the right qualification. So I am here to get the qualification, of which is not the main objective, the main objective is to acquire knowledge and skill that I can apply in developing football. I would like to first thank FIFA, the Lesotho Football Association, for creating an opportunity for me to be part of the student, because it's not an easy thing especially for a foreign coach to come and be provided with an opportunity to gain knowledge. Because as I'm here as a coach, it is important that number one, you have the necessary skills and knowledge on how to develop players.
Coach, I'm thinking of going for that SAFA one, the entry level one. Just to have something.
You start from the D lessons.
Yeah, I want to start with that D.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
But
important.
they say nobody feels that thing. How is it different? It's not
No,
different.
the D1 is like a festival. So D1 is like an introduction.
Ah.
It's like, you know, you know everything about the football, but they're still just trying to, you know, put it in the book. That for you to, you know, how to present it, how to know it properly. Because that one is after 2 weeks, you know, you have a festival, you got a lot of kids that, you know, you need to, you know, organize, how to prepare your training, how, you know, how everything needs to work.
What the B license?
No, I'm talking about the D license. Talking about the D license. That's a starting point.
Yes.
So
yes,
that's
yes.
where you know, after you finish your D license, so now how you organize your team, you know, how you prepare them, your organization, your how you prepare your team in terms of how they need to, you know, if they will prepare for a game, you know, so everything is just like a festival. The D license one. So when you get to the C and to the B, that's where we're talking.
Yeah.
That's where we're talking.
They
So,
feel there's some people.
no, depends on how you handle, because whatever they teach you in the course, that's what comes in the exams. So you have to concentrate. You have to, because you know everything as a player, but it's for you now to put it in places properly. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's very. I want to try it, because I think you know, as much as we always say coaches must get this business.
Yeah.
Also, it's knowledge. It's information.
Yeah, so you can get the feeling. You can see.
There's
I mean,
nothing wrong with acquiring
for you to know if you're saying something, for you to know that, okay, yeah, if the coach is saying, hey, okay, you know, you know what, I mean, you understand what the coach is saying in that point of his view, you know. So yeah, it's very good. It's very good, man. It's very good, and yeah, you know, thanks to SAFA, you know, they produced that platform. And yeah, and credit must be given to SAFA and CAF, and yeah, I mean, to equip the coaches is very important. It's one thing for you to play the game, and it's other thing again for you to equip yourself, to have these classes, to have these courses, so that, you know, you refresh yourself. There's a lot of things that come into soccer, so you need to be in train with that.
No, definitely, yeah. So we'll see. It's on my bucket list. I will definitely try and do it next time. Yeah. Because I want to I'm coming for a job now.
But you know what? We are coming out. But there's something that's coming up. And I understand there's a player who's alleged not to have been properly released by FIFA. But I don't want to understand how this thing is really happening. Is Nigeria up to tricks again? Are you looking at another backdoor?
Just allow DRC to go.
Just allow DRC to go.
For me, you know, sometimes, you know, you don't want these things to really happen. You know, when the country fought very hard for them to qualify, you know, to get opportunity to go to the World Cup, and there's a lot of small things coming out. For me, I just feel like, you know, I mean, DRC, I mean, in terms of field of play, they deserve to be, you know, in the playoff match to play, you know. So for me, yeah, you know, you always want loopholes everywhere. Nigeria want to be at the World Cup, but the best place for you to be at the World Cup is for you to play on the pitch and qualify. You know, so
and I know the fact, you see, I mean, the issue of South African 3 points.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, we were in the wrong, but where did the story come from first? Nigeria, right?
No.
The story came from Nigeria.
You
and
guys,
even this one comes from Nigeria. No. The story
There's
comes from
rules
Nigeria.
there.
I know there are rules. I know there are rules. And I know where I'm going.
It happened to Nigeria.
Where is this information coming from? Okay,
Well,
that's a story for another day.
Yeah. So, but we happened to Nigeria.
No, but
the 3 point own.
But that's a story for another
It
day.
happened to Nigeria. So Nigeria capitalized on that situation.
Yes.
But like for this one, improper registration, this and that. For me, I think it's too much now.
If you want to qualify for the World Cup,
Yeah.
you don't drop points in your first 3 matches.
That's true. Because Nigeria was on the back foot. I mean, after 3 games, you have how many points? 2 points.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you qualify to the World Cup
Exactly.
like that? You know.
And how
And that is
many
Chiefs.
administrative
That
bungles?
is where Chiefs are now.
Yes.
They must get the points against Zamalek this weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
after 2 matches,
Yeah, so-
0 points, will be a serious problem.
Yeah, no,
Don't
we'll
start
stop this
rotation.
thing because, I mean, you wanted to help Zimbabwe play their game in Botswana. That's the story
No,
for another day.
but the right thing, I feel like maybe we never know, but it might happen, it might not happen. We just suggesting maybe the winner of AFCON go to the World Cup. But it can happen.
They are World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, no, I mean we're just saying
They are World Cup qualifiers.
because for you to win AFCON, it's not a child's play. For you to win AFCON, it's very difficult. It's very
This one, I
difficult.
don't agree with the coach, but I agree. I want to talk about club football.
Yes.
I still feel the club that wins the COVID Cup must go to the championship.
But the same thing with
No,
AFCON.
I'm with you
but,
there.
but it's
Yeah.
different.
Well,
So what is different?
Look, I think we all agree that there are a lot of things that CAF,
Yeah.
especially competition and technical wise, they're not doing
Yeah.
right. They need to improve. There are a lot of things that they really need to improve. We acknowledge some of the improvements.
Yeah.
I think there's another big story coming at CAF, especially when it comes to their TV rights. Very impressive story, I must say, but they need to improve their football organization. On that note, to say, Jumbo Africa.